Homeless on the streets of London, but this down and out is not who he seems. He's a reporter for World in Action, living on the streets for a month with a hidden camera. He's finding out who's there and discovering how state benefits do little to help the homeless.
Spare some change?
Get me something to eat then, I've had nothing to eat all day. Oh, let me in then.
Adam Holloway's existence 6 weeks ago couldn't have been further from the life of a down and out. He just left the army at 26. As a captain in the Grenadier Guards last year, he'd been active in the Gulf War. Now he's preparing to become homeless for us.
I joined the army after leaving Cambridge. I was then commissioned into the Grenadier Guards, who are based right here over in Wellington Barracks now. I served in Canada, Cyprus, Germany for a year, and finally in the Gulf. I've done guard duties at St James's Palace and also at Windsor Castle.
So why are you making this film?
Most of us who have roofs over our heads and money going into the bank every month or whatever, you know, we rather take things for granted. Whereas I think the only way that you're going to do that effectively is by having somebody who is, to some extent, feeling and going through what the people on the street are.
For this inquiry to work, Adam cannot have access to his bank account while he's on the streets.
Hello, Adam. How are you? Very well.
Nice to see you. Would you like to come through?
So we've asked Adam to freeze his account here at Coutts Bank for the duration of the film. Instead, he'll be given just £30 in cash by us to live on.
Robin, as we discussed on the telephone, I'd like to give you my checkbook and my check cards, which you'll find in there. Right. For the next month, I would like to have no access at all to my bank account.
Okay. Effectively, this prevents you using your bank account at all for the next month, but as you say, at the end of that time, you'll come back to me and I'll return the cards and checkbook to you.
Many thanks. Well, this is my coat, which we've just got back from the seamstress. I think it's a bit of a contrast, really, to this one. Right, onto the bag, the camera. This was bought in Oxford Street a few weeks ago, and it's been fitted with all the equipment. In the very front here, you can see a hole. In there is a microphone. This side, there is a lens. The lens is the size of your fingernail. I'm going to play with it now, and I'm going to switch it on, and I'm going to film you. And here I've got the producer in frame, and I'll just pan around for the rest of the crew. So, I think now's the time to go and hit the streets.
You might be sleeping rough tonight, you know that?
Yeah, I mean, I've deliberately come out tonight without a sleeping bag. The idea is to try and find one this evening, so I think my first 24 hours, that's going to be my priority. That's what I'm going for now.
We dropped Adam in the centre of London late one Saturday night. It's the end of January and the temperature's hovering around freezing point. Adam has £30 in his pocket, several sweaters, the camera, and that's about all. For the first few hours, he's discreetly followed by a World in Action camera crew.
It's getting late, and already the best doorways for sleeping in are being competed for. Understandably, when you're homeless, you don't appreciate others advertising your misfortune, and the World in Action camera team following me get this conventional response. I'll try to do better. On the advice of some alcoholics, I'm on Kingsway, heading for Lincoln's Inn Fields. It's too late to get a hostel place, so I'm going to have to rough it like thousands of others. Already the doorways and alleyways are filling up. This is just one of the dormitories for London's homeless. Lincoln's Inn Fields in the centre of London. We're a stone's throw from the High Court itself, in a square that houses some of the most famous legal practices in the country. Yet there are hundreds of impoverished people sleeping rough amongst the bushes and flower beds tonight. Is justice in short supply here? Thankfully, I do find some semblance of reason, as charities vie with each other to provide food and drink.
Mate, is that the handout arriving?
Yeah, it's there now.
Cheers.
That's Bondway.
Bondway?
Yeah, they got soup and stuff.
What about the Salvation Army?
They don't come till about 11:30, something like that. But these people here now have usually got something good stuff.
And the Salvation Army people get a sleeping bag from them?
Yeah, they'll give you a ticket, but you won't get one tonight.
My chicken sandwiches have reached their sell-by date and are supplied free by Marks and Spencer's.
Can I have a blanket?
The help is also free and supplied with love and care.
Excuse me, can I get a sleeping bag from?
I don't.
Salvation Army.
So, no sleeping bag tonight. I wandered around Lincoln's Inn Fields, but thought it best not to stay there overnight. So I found a place near the law courts, a rubbish dump where there was some cardboard, and I got in there. That was at about 2:30 in the morning, but I didn't really sleep till 4 because it was cold. I dozed off and woke at about 10 o'clock. In the middle of the night, a girl appeared, unlocked the gates and walked through, collecting some pallets. She passed me 2 or 3 times, but she can't have seen me because I think if she had, she wouldn't have done it again. In the daylight, I returned to Lincoln's Inn Fields. A quick estimate suggests there are some 300 people living in the square. People sleep late here, perhaps because of the cold, or perhaps because the body clock changes when you have so little to occupy yourself with. I join a group round a fire. They're already out of it, sniffing glue. At least they advised me not to try it.
Well, I won't then. I'll take your advice and I won't do it.
Late afternoon, and I'm preparing for my second night out. I need a roof over my head. Round here, they call it a bash.
Yeah, I'm fine. Do you know where I can find some plastic sheeting to build a...
A bash?
Yeah. Are there any which are empty, which someone's not going to, you know...
Pardon?
Are there any that are empty that someone's not going to want to come back to? So I could take stuff from there, so I don't want to take...
I don't know, because that's Mum and Dad's, that's my tent with my brother.
Right.
I've got my 2 brothers in there, and I've got my nephew in there. I'm full up. He's full up,
Right.
love. Who's on that bench over there? No.
I know there's some pallets. It's just the plastic stuff I need, I think.
Yeah, well, if you get the pallets like that,
Yeah.
and then put some cardboard on top, and then get yourself in your sleeping bag, you're right.
Next morning, and this is the home I built out of old chairs, plastic and pallets.
Morning.
I was reasonably warm last night under my 3 blankets, and I slept for 6 hours. Waterloo Bridge, on my way to Keyworth House, the main benefit office for the homeless at the Elephant and Castle. I've been living off free handouts for nearly 2 days. Now I want to see how the state looks after its homeless. I have an immediate crisis. I have little over £20. Now, in the guise of a homeless person, I want to see how quickly the state can react to my changed circumstances. I want to find out whether the homeless are treated differently from other claimants.
I'd like to change my claim.
To help get myself off the streets, I tell them I'm available for work.
What's your surname?
Holloway.
Job centre staff respond by helpfully trying to find me a place in one of the government's cold weather hostels.
Got a number of hostels around in here, about half a mile radius of this place, about 3 or 4 hostels. I'm going to send you downstairs with the form, right? And then you can talk to them in there. They can always register you one of the hostels in there. There's one about 200 yards away here. It's called the Salvation Army Hostel.
That would be great, because I like the Salvation Army. That would be good. So what, you're trying to get me into the Salvation Army place?
It's demolished, I don't know.
It's been demolished?
Mm-hmm. The other Salvation Army is the one in Waterloo, but I don't know whether they take men or so. That one's for the women, I would think.
I don't think I'll get in there. I don't think I'll get in there.
The
one for the women.
I need to confirm that, actually, whether it's actually for women or not. Okay. This is the address of a hostel, which is on the borough.
Right.
Over there. They can show you where it is downstairs, where you go to them, ask them you want to go to a hostel, and then show them this, ask them for direction of this place.
Have you booked me in there?
No, we don't book in here. We just try to get information from them, but I've not been able to succeed, to get through.
You've tried though, yeah, okay.
I've been given the address of yet another hostel, and I'm promised money on Thursdays if I sign on downstairs at door C of the DSS. Excuse me, mate, is this the reception? Is this the reception? What?
You want me to come tomorrow? Well, give us a letter saying you want me to come tomorrow, please. No, I want. Look, I can't understand you. I want it in writing, please. I want it in writing.
Richard gave me an address of one in Great Guildford Street. Now I have to pay for it when I go there, do I?
Yeah.
Do you know how much that is?
I have to ask them.
Okay, thank you.
You full up for the day? You full up. Okay, right. Thank you, bye.
They're full up, are they?
Yeah, they are. Let me see.
Thank you.
The receptionist tries the Bondway hostel in Vauxhall.
No reply.
So what do you think the best thing to do is just...
This is Bondway, no reply.
Is that one the one most likely to have... Is that one the one most... That's the one most likely to have places more likely than Dean Street?
More likely.
Right. So, do you think I should walk...
Sometimes I full up as well because the weather is very cold now. Everybody seems to want to go into the hostel.
Could I see the supervisor about my problem?
Could my destination be the same as this man's? The Bondway hostel in Vauxhall, which the DSS have sent me to.
All right.
Is this Bondway House?
Bondway, this is Bondway Hostel, yeah.
Right.
You have to go in here and up the steps. Oh, yeah.
I was sent here by Keyworth House. They tried to call you, but they couldn't get through.
Right.
And they were wondering, and so was I, if I could maybe stay here this evening.
Right. Did they phone this place? Normally you have to be past 35 at least. Normally it's 60.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
It's a bit too young for you, I'm afraid. They should have known that. Yeah, they should know that.
The DSS sent me here, but I think it's for older people, isn't it? What's the youngest you have here?
Probably me.
So it's for young people.
It's been a bad day. The DSS sent me to a shelter for the over 60s. Now Bondway passes me to a hostel at Dean Street, which they phoned. I've been walking all day, and I've less than £20.
No bed, man. They never phone here. No.
Thanks. So what do I do about getting in here then?
Tomorrow morning. In the morning.
I come around to
12 o'clock, we get in bed.
Before 12 o'clock?
Yeah, about 12 o'clock, yeah.
So I'm back at Lincoln's Inn Fields again for the night. A World in Action camera team using image-intensifying equipment searches out the nightlife for the homeless here. Meanwhile, I get some friendly guidance on who's living in the square from a fellow resident.
So what, around that far there, that's the glue people, is it? That one there? People who like glue?
Seems to be, yeah.
And what's in the roundhouse then?
Round here?
Yeah.
All the old drunks.
And then the square house?
Mostly elderly men.
And then it's just the rest of us.
Elderly men in those ones here.
And then there's a family, isn't there, over by that far?
That's
Carol and
yeah,
that lot.
That's right.
How come they're here?
Probably saving money.
Do you think I could live here and have a job as well?
Well, I am.
What kind of office is it you're working at?
I don't work in an office. I work in the director's kitchen.
Right. Oh, you said you were KP. That's
a KP.
In what? In a bank?
No, it's insurance.
How many of the blokes do you reckon have got jobs then?
About a third.
I've seen some people in jackets and ties in the morning here. I've seen some people.
Next morning, my informant friend from the previous night stirs before his day's work at the insurance company. Back early to Dean Street Hostel. I still need a roof over my head.
I was told if I came back here today, I could book in for tonight.
We haven't got that bed, have we? Yeah? You been here before?
No.
No. How much money have you got here?
About 20 quid.
20 quid. Frank? If you're as mad as a hatter, you'll fit in perfectly here.
I think I probably am.
With this unsettling warning, I head for the dining room. At my table, a man obsessively counts on his fingers. A younger man counts the air holes on the ventilators and enters this information in a book.
So what do you say?
said if you're not mad now, you soon will be.
There are people here who clearly need help. Some got here as part of the government's policy of emptying mental hospitals. Instead, they're stuck in hostels, homeless and uncared for. Ordinary people end up here too. This former carpenter is in London looking for work.
I can't walk at the moment. I walked up from Brighton.
You walked up from Brighton?
Yeah, a day and a half. Back with my legs.
You weren't wearing those shoes, were you?
Yeah.
You were? You wearing those shoes?
Yeah. I cut all my feet as well, you know.
Blisters?
Went to the hospital, though. They put me up in the hospital last night, the nurses.
The bottom of the pile are here too. People who seem to have nothing, like my cubicle mate Michael.
So where are the best places for collecting dog ends then?
What do you think?
Outside pubs.
Sometimes have a bonus, you know, on the road, and there's this has happened a few times. There's a whole heap of dog ends.
That's when people are emptying their car ashtrays.
Yeah.
Must be, yeah.
Yeah. I've done pretty well.
Thursday morning, and the DSS have told me I'll get some money today. I need it to pay the hostel. I'm down to £15 now. I start by signing on at the job centre upstairs.
Hi, can I sign, please? So how much do I get and where do I go? How much do I get and where do I go?
I don't know. You have to find out how many it is.
So you can't pay me today then?
Already this sounds ominous. I ignore her instructions and go to a pay desk anyway.
It says here that I should get personal issue at pay desk 2. Now, that's your desk, isn't it? The one I'm standing at now.
Right, the reason is we haven't received the order to pay you from the SSS downstairs.
Right, so shall I go and get that and bring it up then, or what?
No, you took the B1. It's a fresh claim?
Yes.
Yeah, you took the B1. It's take about between 10 days to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Suddenly, my prospects of getting money downstairs at the DSS have stretched to 10 days. A man in the queue says it could take even longer.
I don't understand it. Why can't pay me up there? I don't quite understand.
You have to wait until the running order comes through from downstairs.
Oh, I see.
Then it takes about 6 weeks from the time you make your claim. So you'll have to go down there twice, 3 times maybe. Yeah?
The rehabilitation centre in Bristol.
Other people are having problems downstairs.
You're going to get freaking nothing.
So what do you want to do? That's the other bit. That's all the benefit you'll do. What do you want to do then? Do you want to apply for process?
No.
Well, how much money will I get now?
2 days' money, dear.
How much is that? I don't know.
2 days' money.
How do I pay the hostel then?
Sorry?
How do I pay the hostel?
Do you want to come in a little woman, mate?
Yeah, please.
They now tell me I'll only get 2 days' money. I asked to see a supervisor.
One Dane Street, that's where you are.
Yeah.
You slept there last night?
Yeah, and the night before.
Right, have you got a new B1 for Dane Street address? If you slept there for the last couple of nights, what you're actually going to have to do is get a B1 and actually make a claim at a different social security office, because on your signing on day, you are at a different address. Like, you know, you was NFA with us, you didn't have an address. Now you're at Dane Street, you're going to have to go and claim over in that part of London. You can get a B1 from our unemployment benefit office, it's still D's.
Because I'd moved earlier in the week from Lincoln's Inn Fields to the hostel in Dean Street, I now have to sign on at another office in London. This is turning into a farce. I've wasted 2 days here. Now I need a form called a B1 from window C upstairs again.
I've been sent here to get a new B1 from you.
From us?
From you, yeah. I need a B1 so I can go there and prove that you issued a B1 on the 27th so I can get some money.
As far as I know, you should really go to Chadwick Street for this. Let me just check.
Yeah, please don't make me go to Chadwick Street. So I'm not going to get any money today? But how am I supposed to pay for the hostel then?
Chadwick Street is what's come to some arrangement with the hostel.
Well, I'd better had, otherwise I'm back on the street.
I'll now have to wait until tomorrow and go to Chadwick Street before I can put in my new B1 form, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll get some money. It is apparent that the benefit office can't provide for the homeless. The system can't cope, so I feel like a second-class citizen. Back to St. Martin's in the Fields, where I know charity will look after me.
£4 for starters.
You having some tenants in the morning?
I'm saying to you, sir, I'm talking about 7 cans now a day. I'm getting a little bit worried about it. I think it's time to get some treatment.
Where can you get that from, right?
It's got to be a detox, isn't it? 7 cans a day? Jesus. That's 50 cans a week. Christ.
Today, as always, there are disturbed people on the streets.
You ever worked?
What?
You ever worked?
Yeah, I was in the army.
In the army? Right. I tried joining the Air Force once. Biggin Hill, you know, Biggin Hill. Being a pilot for hurricanes and joining the Air Force, you know. Joining the Air Force. An officer. I only made it to Biggin Hill as an officer. An officer. I was going to be an officer, you know. An officer. You have good wages and good meals at the mess. My dad was every single NATO code, safe code, everything about NATO. He was even a Buddhist once, but he chose Roman Catholics to be his best friend.
It's Friday, and I'm at Chadwick Street Job Centre to sign on. If I don't get money here, I'll have nothing for the weekend. It looks bad already. A notice says their computer's not working. I'm not going to get any money here, then?
Oh, not here, no. No, you won't get any money here.
Why not, if this is the place where I'm meant to be signing?
Well, your signing day is not until next week. A week today will be your signing day here, Friday of next week.
And I'd quite like some money, because I've only got £8, like
well,
I
I'm sure
say.
you would. Yes, I'm sure you would. But excuse me, the point is that we can't give you any money here because we haven't got any authority to give you any money.
But how am I supposed to pay the hostel if I haven't got any money? That's cost me £21 a week, and I've been there for 3 nights now.
Yes, I appreciate that. Will you pay them for your next gyro? That's what I'm saying. If you go to the DSS at Tavistock Square today, give them this, which tells them that you've now registered to make a claim there. Show them that which says that you signed it at Keyworth House.
It strikes me as a very complicated system.
No,
I certainly don't understand it.
That is very well may be so, but that's how it is, and until they dream of a better one, that's what you're going to have to live with. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being so helpful. So I appreciate that very much.
If you're in a hurry, nip up to Victoria Street, go straight up there, turn right, onto the main road, just on the other side, pick up a 24 or 29 bus, and they drop you at Good Street Station. And you can walk straight through.
But I have to pay for the bus, won't I?
Well, unless you meet a kind-hearted conductor, but as far as I know, the last one of them died in 1927.
I've been told I can't sign on at Chadwick Street until next Tuesday. I have one last chance, so wearily, I set off for the DSS office at Tavistock Square. Will I get any money here?
There'll be no payments today, it's information only. There's only about half a dozen people in the office, because the rest are on strike. So if it's money you want, they say no, because there's no one to pay money. It'll be information only.
Probably won't be able to arrange any payment till Monday, when we're back to some kind of normality.
Well, look, I've got £3 in my pocket, mate. It's either 3 or 8, I'm not sure, because I think I've lost £5. What am I going to do over the weekend?
I'll have a word with one of my colleagues in one moment, yeah?
Good afternoon, right, can I help you?
Yes, I've just been sent here by Chadwick Street.
Yes.
To hand in a B1 to you, because I'm now in Dean Street, which I wasn't before.
Right.
And I want to get some money.
Well, we can't pay you anything today.
This is a vicious circle, which once in, is difficult to escape from. Excuse me, love, do you know where there are any handouts today?
It's on the very evening at Lincoln's Inn, but I don't know about the morning. You could try. You know, I wouldn't like to say there weren't anything. Maybe there will be.
I check out of the hostel. After a week, I'm back where I started, living rough at Lincoln's Inn Fields. This time, I'm broke. I'm down to £3. Excuse me, mate, can you spare some change, please? Was that a no? Excuse me, can you spare some change, please?
I'm skint myself.
Are you? Are you skint as well? I've been beaten by the forms, beaten by the system. State benefits don't work for us. I've fallen, and the net hasn't caught me. Excuse me, sir, I'm in distress. Can you spare some change, please?
We left it all upstairs, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay, thank you. Excuse me, sir, can you spare some change, please?
I haven't got any at all, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me, sir, can you spare some change, please?
I don't have any on me.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me, madam, can you
spare some change, please? Thank you. Excuse me, mate. Can you spare some change, please? Oh, cheers. I appreciate that. You know, you're the first person in about 20.
It's not surprising. It's all I've got, mate.
You're very kind. Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot, mate.
Next week in part 2, as well as trying to find work, Adam Holloway experiences the raw violence of street life.
But if you want to take the piss and sell ciggies, do it, mate. But you get your back slashed when you're not looking, mate. I'm telling you, you get cut up, you get no friends that way, mate. Give the lads a ciggy.